proposal could soon inflate Quincy residents' water bills. Supporters want to use that increase to pay for much-needed water treatment repairs throughout the city.
WGEM's Claire Edlund is here now with more. Claire?
Daniel and Raja, utilities officials say if this proposal goes through, the average resident's water bill could push past $14 a month. At tonight's council meeting, city officials plan to discuss the importance of this surcharge and how it will help with urgent repairs such as floodproofing for the water treatment plants and replacing sewer pipes along Broadway.
Potentially on the water treatment plant side, we could have a catastrophic loss of the ability to treat water. So that, of course, nobody wants to see happen. But also on the water main, which people don't see, the problem with the aging cast iron rusting mains is that they leak quite a bit.
Conti says the repairs included in this proposal could cost about $30 million. Conti says if the proposal goes through, the rate hike would be based on customers' water usage rather than a flat rate. Daniel?
All right, thank you, Claire. The proposal could come up for a vote at next week's council meeting.